It's going to be a quick 5-minute video, but you'll probably get more out of it than me going on for 30 minutes. I'm going to start, and I'm going to commit, people. I'm going to commit to doing this because I want people to learn from experience that I've had in professional mixes to guys just starting at their house, you know, getting into it and seeking for the, you know, for the next step in their career. This is a trick you can use. Anybody can use this, okay? This isn't just like me, but this is something that I found always did the trick for me in a pinch. If you're sent, especially for the hip-hop guys of the world, especially for the rock guys that are new, that you get to the end of the mix and it's tiny bit muffled and you're trying to get the vocals to sit up, but you're out of headroom, you don't have anywhere else to go. You love your mix, but it's just a little bit muffled. It's not all the way clean like you like it. You just want it to be a little bit more refined. You want the vocals to pop a little more. You want the high end to be more present. You want the energy range from like 400 and up to really drive. So with compression, there's a technique you can do. It's actually a multiband compressor. I'm just going to use a basic one from Waves that is a linear phase multiband. I've had this thing since school. That's when we got it with the school bundle. And I've always used it. I've used it, and everybody's like, oh, this plugin's better, that plugin's better, this plugin's better, but I've always come back to this plugin, this linear phase deal. So the deal is what we're going to achieve here is from 90 hertz to roughly about 500 hertz in this song. Now it can vary, okay? If you want to do it with less drastic change to the mix, you're gonna tighten that up, maybe move it to the left a little bit more, to the right a little bit more. But the main focus of this demonstration is like from the 200 to 400 hertz range is usually where we have buildup. And what I mean by buildup is on clear buildup, on clear muffle, on clear sound. But these instruments that we have, kicks, the low end of a vocal, snares, bass, synth, piano, they all have that frequency range, okay? They all share that, but that's more of the foundation. I don't know if that's the way God created us, but our voice, in a sense, doesn't have that as strong. So to make that as natural as possible, I found out that controlling that range with a compressor does that. So I'm going to show you on screen. Now, you can try this on your own song, and once you try it, you'll probably give me the thumbs up on the video, because this is one of those things that I've used so many times that it just works. So the goal is not to do it so drastic that it changes your mix. If you like your mix, if you want, you can do it very drastic and really change your mix. But if you see this soloed range, this is what that range sounds like through the camera. So you can tell it's a very muffled range. I mean, it's like the outside the club effect on the song right now. So the problem is, though, is this range is very big dynamically. I mean, it takes up a lot of space before you get to zero. So a lot of times kick drums are buried in this range, and that's where our mixing service comes in, where we can like clear all that out and clean that up and see what we really got going on there. But in the mastering stage, my focus would be to take this range, just use the threshold on a multiband and start to turn it down. So watch what happens. I was a young So by doing this, by controlling this range, it's not only doing two great things. This is what the two great things it's doing. Number one, it's adding more snap to the kick. It's adding more presence and punch to the kick. And it's also controlling and refining that range so the other ranges can have space for the mix. So when we on solo this, I was a young boy, alles wird verloren, alles wird verloren. Nu ben ik een grown boy, en we willen doorgaan. Yo, een nieuwe dag, nieuwe lach en de zon is op. Ik ben op mezelf nu, ik moet streven naar de top. Pakistan polo shirt, ik moet zaken doen. Ik kan niet meer naar mijn mams, die is met pensioen. Dan gaat het dit, ik kan het, dus ik ga het doen. Ik ben het aan het doen en het leven gaat zo snel. So the goal in my situation is to create headroom without hearing it much, and that's what we just did with that. So at that point, I've been doing quite a bit to that. But we could bounce that out, and then we have a much cleaner low-mid response. And that was the key. The key is to get it to a point. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, guys, that I have to do this during the video. But I just felt like doing it. So the next thing, so what we're doing here, and in this case, I'm just bouncing out through the converter. If you guys are like, well, why isn't he printing? The thing is I'm actually bouncing through the Pure 2 as an insert in the Pro Tools session. It saves time. It allows me to do these for a lot less money, and it actually when I print back, it sounds really good because I'm printing back to another converter, which is another key. But here's the deal. I think if you start to really experiment with that frequency range, you'll start to hear low end for the first time. You'll start to recognize the difference between the sub and the actual roundness, you know, and you'll start to realize, wow, dude, I got way too much kick. Like if you just solo that range out, you'll notice real quick if your kick drum sounds bad. But when it's in context with everything, the thrill of a poor quality kick drum's still going to do its job. But when you're looking for those pristine, amazing recordings, you really have to refine that range quite a bit and make decisions to make that imaged as you would with the 2K or 3K of a vocal. So you need to make it imaged, and that's one of my tricks. Like I said, I'm gonna try to stay focused on the YouTube channel, get back, but just do smaller, shorter videos, you know, 6-7 minute videos, and just give you a trick in each one. So hopefully you guys subscribe to the channel. I've never asked for subscriptions, dude. I appreciate every last one of you that have watched my YouTube channel. Thank you, God, that He allows this opportunity for myself, because it brings in a lot of people I would have never worked with, and that's something that I've really looked forward to. We've done amazing mixes for artists that you might know their name, to guys that are up and coming that you'll get to know their name. So I think music is a global thing, and it should be treated that way. It should not be treated indifferent. We're all here together. That's the way that is my thinking on music, and I think I've learned that through a lot of wise teaching and understanding that it's not all about just you, it's about us, and we're all making great music. So if your song touches one person, then you did your job. So my name is Doug Jenkins, imixandmaster.com. That's just a quick tip on multiband I would say from the 100 hertz range to the 500 hertz. If you like your kick at 100, move it up to 200 to 400, because that's really refined into the muffle. And that's where all of our so-called muffle that we hate, it all sits there. So we'll get your next video, what happens when you control that. Now your vocal sounds real harsh. So we'll get into that one next. Peace.